And Brian, speaking of making it look easy, I actually think we have a special guest on the line, the man who makes it look the most easy in the entire, at least NAFGC, and maybe even in the world. I'm just saying, bruh. None other than XSET's very own iDom. Special treat for y'all today. Let's talk to him. That's some nice hardware you got right there, iDom. It looked like you the champ or something like that, man. What's that you got right there on your shoulder?
I mean, I got the CEO belt with me. I had to show off my new belt, my new thing I'm adding to my collection.
My man been cooking, man. Brian, did that hurt you to see, seeing as you were right there, just so close?
You know what I'm saying? I thought I saw him shaking on the ropes there a little bit. I thought maybe I could just give him a little tap. Hey, congrats, iDom. Boop. And then, maybe someone had to carry that belt for him after that. What can I say? But nah, all seriousness, I love to see iDom win. I love to see that you're willing to pop off a little bit too. That was the main thing to me. Yeah. We saw you there. Like, you're eyeing the rope for a second. I was like, is he gonna get on that? And he's like, should I? And we're like, yeah, get up there, iDom. So it was good to see you embracing your role as the current champ of, I guess we can only say North America officially, right? It was Combo Breaker, it was CEO, back-to-back offline major championships.
And we see that CEO trophy, that CEO belt on your shoulder. We just seen you win Combo Breaker. You've been winning everything you can pretty much since then. But I do got to bring it back a little bit so that I can ask you, do you think that you should still be auto-qualified for the first offline Capcom Cup? Because, for the first cup since then, because we haven't had one yet.
Yes, a little, because I still never got my my auto qualification part. But I do like I have to play again to try to qualify, because it's cool. Like it gives you more of a motivation to like keep playing, because like growing up, like I feel like I shouldn't really say this, but I've always done like the bare minimum, like you do just enough to pass. So, so I feel like me having to qualify again, it makes me like play more and get like more involved in the state good.
Do you see how free he's calling us right now?
Man, bro.
iDom.
Man say he do the bare minimum, he just smoke us.
Do the bare minimum and show us the bare minimum respect, please. The accidental disrespect coming this way. But that said, I think you bring up an interesting point. So you should have the auto qualifier spot. So do you consider yourself the reigning Capcom Cup champion, given all the circumstances?
Yeah, because I still technically never lost.
Okay, all right. You heard it from the man himself. We got to get it. It's been a weird couple seasons, right? I often like to throw the line, the reigning Capcom Cup champion, but I don't know.
I agree.
It's technically debatable. It's been a little different, so it's good to hear it from the man himself. I like the aura of confidence coming from iDom, though. So that said, Combo Breaker, CEO. You already kind of hinted at it a little bit. How free is NA?
There's a lot of good players here, sure, definitely, but I don't like saying like, oh, NA's free, this or that, but you guys are trying to make me the bad guy here. I feel like you guys are trying to make me the bad guy.
What you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it is kind of suspicious that Kudo comes over here. Kudo's coming over here, and I've been playing with Kudo a lot. And like me and Kudo have been playing since he's in New York. We go to NLVC all the time. I'm not saying like there's great players in NA like Shine, Punk. There's tons of great players in NA, but like you got people Kudo coming over just smoking us now.
And whoa! I smoked Buddy. I only played him one time, and we played a Combo Breaker. Respectfully, he got like in a bad matchup. I smashed him horribly. So we not doing that.
Rob did get the win over Kudo, but
not
Kudo
the win.
Has been
bad.
I know. I'm not saying we're
over a lot of the competition. He has. We got to give him credit
there.
He's
like though. It is. No, you're right though. iDom. It is.
He's pushing. He's pushing NA.
It's disrespectful. Honestly, you're right. Like, cause it's like, it's not even like we knew. Like, he wasn't a popular player in Japan. Like, cause he's younger. Like. So I don't say that in a bad way. I'm saying in a good way. The fact that they're that good that it's not even like Tokido or Daigo or famous.
Right.
And he came over here smoking everyone. It looks bad on us. It does.
The way I would probably put it is to say we're kind of top heavy.
I mean, that's always been the, when there was the era of the EU versus NA 10v10, that was always the argument. And that's, I know me and Rob maybe disagree a little bit on that, but I would say,
bro,
I would say EU, for example, has more even spread of
don't
top
do
level
that.
players than NA. But okay, we won't get sidetracked
hold up.
there.
Let me push to a different direction though, Brian. Let me push to a different direction because you're disrespectful right now. So let's take it to gameplay. Okay, let's move into gameplay. iDom, you have the best reads in the world. That I don't think anyone would disagree with. I'm talking about actual, just straight hard reads. Like for example, you were playing Mena at CEO. I think you landed it was a back throw that you landed again. I said it on my stream and everything. I said, oh wow, it's over. What is that? Like, why are your reads so good?
I said this, and I still think to this day it's true. Mena, I didn't rob Mena. Mena gave me that game. He didn't get robbed. He handed it to me, and you have to be stupid not to take it. But I had no business in that match at all. But Mena kind of handed me the game, so it helped me, and then like I just won the set after.
So what about
reads? Hold up, Brian, because they answered the thing. What about reads in general though? Why? Like, how are your reads so strong? Like, what goes into your reads being that good?
There's only certain options to get out of something. So at a certain situation, it's like Mena could do this or Mena can do that, or like whoever I'm playing can just do this or that. So like if I'm down by like 20% and the other person has 80%, I'm thinking, okay, he's not gonna DP here. You can lose from this. And then it's like, okay, his only real option here is to either take my grab or he would be dumb to backdash here or DP here. And then like if that happens, then it's like, oh, this guy's an idiot. Let me just win right now.
Right, so I think that's what I was going to get at. To me, it sounds like you were kind of deflecting the reads connotation of it, and I kind of agree with that because I'm wondering if your mindset's kind of similar to mine, and I'm wondering how you think about this. Is it more about like risk reward? Because I feel like based on what you just said, like, oh, Mena handed it to me. So what did he do to actually hand it to you? He chose options that had poor risk reward in that scenario. Is that what you're thinking? Like how you're breaking that down, and you were going for the options with great risk reward in your favor, and he did the opposite. Is that how that situation kind of happened?
Yeah, I feel like it's all really just risk reward because even when I play, like if you watch like the best, like the super top players play, you rarely see them really get robbed by V-Trigger. Like if you watch like the Punks, the Big Birds, the Problem X's, they're not really getting robbed by V-Trigger too much when they're playing because they're probably all thinking, okay, I can die if I do this, so let me just not do this and try to stay alive here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that for sure. People often make horrible decisions and die quick for it, but yeah, I think the way you break it down is it's definitely risk reward. I think with Laura though, it's hard for people to keep the mathematical part of their brain going because it does happen very quick. I think there is a human element to it where people end up making poor decisions, but the best players often kind of still make the correct bets with the best risk reward in those moments. So that to me means whenever you're robbing people, they just have horrible risk reward against Laura V-Trigger.
But it can happen
there sometimes.
There's coin flips, but it's only really coin flips if you're already losing.
Of course, that fateful day, that fateful tournament where you go ahead and win cup. So I gotta ask, bro, like, how is your life different now? Like from then to now. That's obviously a completely different situation within the FGC and outside.
The same. Life's been the same. I mean, chill. I mean, I've been helping out the New York FGC. Like we've been doing a lot of stuff here in New York with Henry. Bum has been doing tournaments too. I'm trying to do everything, hang out with all the New York FGC, help out where I can. Like these guys help help me go, get to tournaments, help me get better growing up. Growing up. So like the best I can do is definitely like give back and try to help out the community.
That's something I like to see because it's pretty apparent you're definitely much stronger than the average person in not just your scene but in the world, right? But you're still extremely active. I mean, for the skill level to like activity ratio, it's the highest I've ever seen. Like I don't think I've ever seen a player of your level be as active at all level of events. Locals, the 5-man local, the 1,000-man tournament, you name it. If it's accessible to you, you're there. You're there in all the online weeklies. Like some people like to go the Hollywood route and never enter a single tournament ever again and not show their faces with the people. But you've been very active. So can you speak to that? Like how come you're so active in every tournament and always, in like no matter what the size of the tournament, does that help you practice? Is it just fun? Like, what's your thought process with that?
So this is gonna be like one of the probably boomer moments because I've been I guess around the scene for a while now. But funny story. Henry told me this story at Next Level, and he always had the save it for national mindset. So like you would save the stuff, but I don't believe in that save it for nationals thing. Like if we're all getting better together, we're all gonna be better, and then we can all do better at tournaments all together. Like I like seeing the New York scene all do good. I was rooting for Kudo the entire every time I go to like every time Kudo was at Combo Breaker or CEO, I'm rooting for Kudo, but I've been rooting for Kudo because he's been training with us in New York, and it's like cool to see him getting better. I'm always rooting for like the New York players to like do good, shine, whoever it is. It's just like I want to see New York do good.
It's that I always say when it comes to you, me and Brian say this, that you are the most consistent player like that I've ever seen. As far as, I don't mean just tournament results, I'm talking about like if I see you playing a casual match, a ranked match, a Capcom Cup Grand Finals, NLBC, it does not matter. You seem to play at 10 out of 10 regardless. Whereas, I don't know if you know, but for most of us, like if it's casuals, we not sweating like you, iDom. You know what I'm saying? We relax and enjoy ourselves a little bit. But even outside of that though, like in all seriousness, even if you really are just playing ranked or whatever, eventually sometimes your brain might just kind of like go into cruise control mode. Why is it like that you don't seem to ever switch to that? And is that something that you're conscious of? How do you not really run out of like mental stamina to keep playing at that level no matter what? And do you agree with that that's what you do?
I'm not like, I guess, trying. I mean, I am trying in tournament, but like when I'm playing like CFN or like in casuals, if I'm playing like Shine or if I'm playing like Shine or Brian or Punk or whoever, then usually I'm like trying because I'm trying to replicate like a tournament scene. But like if I'm playing like in ranked or something, I'm usually just like, you got the script on what you're going to do or like what you're trying to practice, and like the script beats 99% of the player, so it just be like that. Like I'm not like I don't know what else to say. It just be like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of like your strategy, right? Like I think that allows you to play at that level for so high because it's so internalized, such an effective strategy where you don't have to switch it into high gear unless really necessary. Like I think that comes from enough practice, experience, and just understanding, a deep understanding of the game, right? It's not something that you can just do automatically. That's a talent in and of itself, because that's the difference between system 1, system 2 thinking, right? Like what are you consciously thinking about? The less you have to consciously think about it, the better you can play for longer. So that's definitely a skill within itself to be able to do that, even though I get it, sometimes in ranked just flowchart and wins, but your flowchart is very good.
A lot stronger than
very good
everybody else's, it seems. Yeah.
So we're definitely pushing time, but we have to get one last question in, because this is the big one. I mean, we hinted at it earlier, right? You got Combo Breaker, you got the CEO belt. The big one is coming up. EVO 2022, the first offline EVO we've had for years. Obviously, in the Western Hemisphere, all eyes are on you right now, and the only thing that's been left to be tested is the rest of the world. You have Europe, you have Asia, Japan. The international competition is coming. How are you feeling going into this EVO?
I'm feeling good. Like, to be quite honest, going into Combo Breaker and going into CEO, I wasn't like, too stressful on myself. I feel like if you stress out about a tournament, you're just shaping yourself up for failure. That happened at me for North American Regional Final in 2019. I was like so stressed out because I was like, man, I gotta make Capcom Cup because I was so close on the point, and I played so bad that tournament, but luckily I still got in. So I feel like the less stressed I am going into an event is definitely always the better. I didn't really like prep. I didn't prep super hard for Combo Breaker. I was just going there to have a good time, not prepping too much for a CEO, going there to have a good time. So I'm gonna do the same with Evo.
iDom, bro, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I appreciate you pulling up on us and everything, man. For my money, the best player in the world, but of course, I guess we'll see at EVO. iDom, the reigning Capcom Cup champion, X Sets very own. Appreciate you, brother.